essentially the things that I've done to actually get to this point, which again is not to. I'm still on my own journey, and the thing is, I'm 22 right now, and I technically was on the hunt for this since I was 15. At 18, I found an opportunity that I thought was like amazing at, which is like Iman's course, the SMMA thing. That's when I was exposed to it. uh 20 slash 21 when I was that was when I actually really pursued it and really did the things, because from 18 to 21 all I was doing was trying to get started, but then I couldn't, uh, and then I didn't really put my all focus on it, and then yeah, I kept trying to different things, and then yeah, never really succeeded at it until I really put and just said, I'm going all in on this. This is the only thing that I'm going to do. And the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, that's all I'm going to do. And it wasn't until I did that shift and had that shift that I was always scrambling. So when you think about the reasons why you haven't succeeded, because obviously, like, it's no one else. And along the way, you don't realize it, but you become someone else. When I started, like, I'm going to be honest, like, I was afraid, and because I was afraid of talking to people, and because I was afraid of talking to people, I never took the first step, which is, guess what, reaching out to people to ask them if they want a service, even if it's for free. And I remember the time when I was trying to get started with it, and I was just offering services for free, and then I just put up an ad, get ads for free, etc., in my local area. And then a bunch of people started signing up for the ads, and I was like getting so overwhelmed. And I went to these people, I was so scared, but I went anyways, and I got back from it, and I was like, oh no, this is so overwhelming. There's so much expectation. I don't know if I want to do this, and so I basically self sabotaged myself, because I could have gotten at least some people or some paying clients from it, but I kind of just self sabotaged myself, and I ended up just kind of scratching that out, and not getting any clients from it, because I just didn't reach reach out back to these people. Then there's these different stages that you go through, which means that for each different stage, you have to become a different person. And now I'm the stage where I'm at, because in the past, what, a year, I kind of been stuck at the same revenue level in the agency, which is like, what, 5K. I didn't I think my best month was actually this year, where I did 7K. And each time when I had my best month was either one of these three things. Either I was super focused, and I just spent a certain amount of time, like, the thing with me is, I make plans all the time, but I don't execute them, right? Because the times when I actually got the things that I wanted was when I made a plan, super simple, super duper simple, and I just followed it for a certain amount of time. So each time when I had like a peak month, it was because I was doing the things that, well, they were obvious. Well, they were obvious, but I was just wasn't doing it, right? Like calling the old leads, but calling the old leads or doing certain things. And whenever I did those things, it's because I had to. I was like back against the wall, dude. You don't have any money. Go out, go hunt, call those leads, call whatever, do cold calling, do whatever you can. And then every time I would do that, like boom, best month, etc. So it's just finding a way that not only to create that hunger, create that urgency, but it's also finding in a way that you are doing what you know you're supposed to do. You know that you have to call those old leads. You know that you have to reach out to people. Like, this isn't obvious. It's like losing weight. You know that you have to diet. You have to have. You know that you have to stop eating shit, and you know that you need to exercise. On paper, like, that's super simple. So it's like, okay, why am I not doing it? And how can I make myself doing it? And I found that the reason, or the way that you get yourself to do things over a long period of time, is not by doing it for is by doing like maybe a challenge over 2 weeks, where you're just going to cold call for 2 weeks, because after you've gone through that period, every other week becomes easier. Like, just for giving an example, I'm actually dieting right now. The first 2 weeks are always the freaking hardest. and you're always like having cravings because you're attached to these old habits, and you're like, okay, but I really want this. So it's like your brain, your body, everything is just so accustomed to your old self, your old habits, everything old. So it's always trying to be like, oh, but you should eat this. I mean, this is so tasty. So the first 2 weeks are always the hardest with anything. If you're doing cold calling, if you're doing dieting, if you're going to the gym, if you're running anything. So it's like, how do I get myself to do these things at least for 2 weeks, the hard things, and then afterwards it will just become easier. The third week, the fourth week, the fifth week, and then over a long extended period of time, and then you're just going to reap the rewards of it after maybe the third or fourth week of being consistent for that month. I remember like when I was just, because I've been with peaks and troughs. I feel like it really reflects in terms of how much I make money and how much I weigh or how much I am in terms of fitness wise, because it's how consistent you are during that time. So for me, it's like, okay, let me do like a 2 week challenge where I'm just gonna be eating clean, whatever. It's just 2 weeks. Okay, I can eat like maybe one bad thing after 2 weeks, but over these 2 weeks, I'm just gonna do the things that I know I have to do and that I'm supposed to do. So with business, it's just the same thing. So if I'm not where I am, it's because I don't have the skills, and I'm not the person that is receiving that. Like I keep kind of sabotaging myself because what I'm the leads come through, I don't follow with them enough. Maybe I call them once, maybe I call them twice, but I don't call them or follow up with them every single day. That's the first thing. I'm not doing the obvious thing, and I know this. So I'm not the person that need that. So at this stage, I need to cross this barrier, which is one, actually having cash in the bank where I can spend money on ads. Two, is having that work ethic of, for example, putting myself in a position where I'm so uncomfortable, like calling old leads, calling like someone else's leads or whatever, appointment setting, sales job or whatever, because it really puts you in that environment, because it's not just about the money what I am putting myself in a sales job, because I'm in this environment where I really have to do like uncomfortable things like calling leads and doing sales calls for like 8 hours straight, and that really builds your identity. Like if I can do this, like calling those leads or being in the sales calls for myself, that's nothing. So really putting myself through that environment where I have to become someone else, I have to step up to really become a better closer, become a better salesperson, but the identity of just doing the uncomfortable things over and over and over again, where me having conversation, me having a sales call, me objection handling someone that has a business feels like nothing, right? So it's the person that I have to become. And also it's like, who do I need to invest in, or who do I need to get help from? So those are the things, and just kind of a little tangent, but